Welcome to First to 15, the only podcast that's trying to get you paid. I'm here with two-time FFPC champ AB. Alongside him is my guy, Dio the Machine. Guys, this is really special because we finally got Dio. We got him on the clock, like Samuel L. Jackson used to say. Hey, like, get him on the clock, and I'll whoop any motherfucker. We finally got him on the clock for in-person live draft episode. Your pick number 6, right?
Man, if you guys knew how hard this was to get this man to draft, because he has his process, and his process has obviously been successful. So none of us want to spend a lot of money and alter our process if it's been, profitable. But
If it ain't
he has been fortunate enough to bless the viewers with the draft. It's not even gaslight. This is not gassing. What's
the needed content?
I'm telling you,
like, Dale, get in the draft. All right.
No.
We needed
pick
content.
number 6.
I'm excited about this. So the draft start yet?
No. So the draft hasn't started yet. I purposely wanted us to not do this live so that one, we can talk the board a little bit.
Yeah.
And two, I want you to tell us who you're thinking about right now without anyone being able
right
to.
now?
Yeah. So you're pick number 6. Nobody's been picked.
So to get in the head of Dale, I'm just hoping one of the best players just fall. So I hope the top 5 guys just fall.
Classic
pass on
Dale.
Jamar Chase.
Classic
And
Dale.
if they don't pass on Chase, okay, he's gone.
Yeah.
I hope all these guys pass on Bijan.
See, this is a beautiful thing about now being able to watch him draft, because I'm sure that is his true and honest answer.
Yeah.
But when he's on the clock, we actually get to see who he's picking and who he's choosing on the clock. Truth to him. Yeah.
So we got Chase, Bijan, Gibbs, kind of chalky at this point. Nothing really crazy.
Yeah, they tripping.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be reaching for crazy players.
So you needed me in this draft.
Right. You want some value to drop to you.
Yeah, man.
No, but
is there anybody that you're fading at 6? You're just like, you know what?
Well, let's see. Not really here.
Bowers?
I'm probably not going to take Bowers. And I know a lot of people are pretty high on Bowers, but it's just not my style. Bowers. Now, if he failed, if I wasn't back in the first, I would probably, if he failed, but I actually think at the 6 is slightly reaching this format. I think he's going with 7. That's his ADP.
Yeah.
So to take him at 6 is a reach, and I wouldn't do that with a
tight end. His AP might be even higher
than 7.
Yeah, let me check Fantasy Mojo here.
I can look right now.
This is a main event at 5. Yeah, he's the 105.
Here's the thing, though.
Okay, look, a reach just happened, just like I planned.
Aston Gentry. All right, now we on the clock.
Okay.
So as he's picking, we'll let him pick.
Oh yeah, I know where you're going on this one. I mean, this should be easy.
It's crazy. I'm gonna go CD.
Yeah, CD Lamb.
But Barkley usually doesn't fall here, but I'm gonna go CD.
Oh, okay.
I forgot Barkley was still on the board, but yeah, CD Lamb.
He's telling me to get Barkley at the 109. It's not far enough from him.
No, I like Barkley. But I'm gonna go CD.
That was my first Barkley share.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? You made
I'm gonna take Barkley because I don't have much Barkley.
Yeah. Oh, are you sure?
What?
No. Are you sure?
I don't see how y'all make I'm gonna take CD. I'm gonna take CD.
You gonna take CD? Oh, you took CD Lamb. Okay, CD Lamb. Okay,
to be true to myself.
Okay, so you just feel like CD is so.
I think CD is the wide receiver 2 this year.
Okay, so quick question. So sometimes when I'm drafting, I'm drafting and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what kind of build do I want? Which I know is hard to figure out. And then other times I'm drafting, especially in the early rounds, I'm just can he be a 300 plus point scorer? I'm just how many of those can I get? How many of those can I get? And then obviously in the first round, you have a lot of candidates for that. That's why they go in the first round.
Right.
So for me, it kind of comes down to, okay, who do I think can score the most points out of these two? So how do you decide between who you want to go with in the first round? Or is it pretty much just if somebody can fall to value or
I kind of play the value game because I feel like all the first rounders are worthy of their stats.
Yeah. Okay.
They all have a reason to be first round picks.
Yeah.
And again, I always say, I'm not worried about picking the guy that's going to score the most overall points because you can have 2 weeks where week 1, one guy scored 50, other guy scored 40. Week 2, the same guy that scored 50 gives you 20, and the other guy gave you 40. So who's a better pick, right? The guy that scored more points 1 week or the guy that gives you overall most points? So, it all depends.
Yeah.
But that's why here I play the value game.
Yeah.
Just because, you're trying to build these unique builds.
Yeah.
To win $1 million is like threading, threading through a needle type thing. So
the Genty pick at 4 was interesting.
It was.
I don't mind it though.
early for
Honestly,
me.
I don't mind it at all.
I do.
For a couple of different reasons, because I think that tier of like who can like really kind of ball out this year, score 300 plus points, and then ultimately like that last 3 weeks of a tournament, like really go crazy is pretty large.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Genty's a rookie. Will he be the overall RB1? Maybe not, but you don't necessarily need him to. If he's like a top 7 RB, and then the last 3 weeks of the season, like he's sort of kind of revved up now, and now he's like catching 5-6 passes a game. He's like the dominant, you know, running back in that system, and he's averaging 30 points over a 3-week period. Boom. And the interesting thing, or the unique thing about kind of taking him here, is that you probably can have some very, very unique builds with this. I know like that's not a main thing.
I think that's the biggest.
Yeah, you get a unique build because you're not going to see a lot of teams that are going to have Genty and then whoever falls to them.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm in draft, I'm just like, you know what? Let me just take guys who normally go in the second round, you know, because well, you know, if you're at the back end, you know, so there's a lot of different ways you can play it as far as like trying to mix up the build, and obviously if you're doing quite a few drafts, you know, sometimes you can get in here and switch things up a little bit.
That's just a hard sell, though, man. Just because we haven't seen it with Genty, like that's the thing, man. Like when I'm thinking about a running back, and to be honest, I feel uneasy drafting anybody but Bijan with those first 4 picks. Like
why?
I feel uncomfortable drafting Jahmyr Gibbs just because Montgomery is there. I'm not sure if Gibbs can like handle the load. Like with those top 4 picks, I want someone who's rock solid, who I can count on. And the only person I feel like I can count on at that position, like, is Bijan. And that's it. Now, if I want to do something unique, I may go McCaffrey, and that's just because we've seen it. But I just can't do Genty.
But see, I think that's a big. I mean, that is important. Like, and that's something that I think we all use and that we should use. Like, the greatest predictor of, you know, what somebody's going to do in the upcoming season is what they've done in the past season.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also that, like, I think sometimes we can fall into that trap of like, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you get the value. That's why the rookies are so oftentimes like, you know, values, because we haven't seen it before. So because we haven't seen it, everyone's scared to sort of kind of reach on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you get burned by one rookie, you know, then that sort of kind of transfers over to the next year, like kind of like with Marvin Harrison last year.
All right, so we just got double tight ends, Dio, but you're up next. You got double tight ends with Brock Bowers and Trey McBride. Obviously,
yeah. Oh, you know, okay.
Man, he confident.
Cool customer.
He got that.
Okay. Cool customer.
He's like, I see it.
Yeah.
But all right. So you're on the card.
Let's see.
But like going double tight end like that, like, how do you feel about taking Bowers and Trey McBride? Like, are you really? I mean, we just talked about to win $1 million, you need to thread the needle, but you really got to thread the needle, like going both those tight ends.
So remember, this is tight end premium now.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, these guys are young, and remember, both these guys, a lot of people are, you know, pushing this idea of potential TD regression because they had so many targets and so many catches last year and didn't really get a lot of touchdowns. And with Bowers, you can potentially see it in the new system. Yeah. Like, he could not catch as many touches or receptions this year because of the new system, or he could catch a lot more touchdowns this year because the offense is a lot more effective. Mm-hmm. So to me, I don't really, like, this early on, I don't care. Honestly, like, in a tight end premium in this type of format, it almost does not matter to a certain degree, because if both of these guys score 300 plus points, like, that's really all I want to accomplish in my first 2 rounds, you know?
So Dio went CeeDee Lamb and then Drake London. Obviously, Drake London and sort of Ladd McConkey kind of live in this space right here. Why Drake London over Ladd or any other pick that you were considering?
I wasn't even considering Ladd. I'm afraid he might regress a little bit this year. Mm-hmm. More competition. They might decide they want to run more this year. Mm-hmm. So I think, I mean, I fell for it. I don't want to say I fell for it because we haven't seen it not happen yet. Mm-hmm. But I did, you know, the Texans played the Chargers in the playoffs, and McConkey was going crazy. And I think I put in a group text, hey, man, first round pick next year, McConkey, you know, because he just looked that good, you know. And honestly, all season I kind of doubted him. Mm-hmm. And he eventually, you know, made a believer out of me. So with all that being said, again, I think he's going to have a little bit of regression. Trey Harris is in the fold. They brought back Mike Williams, who might not be anything, but they brought him back.
He's familiar with this. Well, I guess it's an entirely different system, somewhat.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, I believe again we're talking about Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh. They want to run the ball.
Yeah.
They just drafted a running back in the first round. They brought Najee through. I think I think last year was a ceiling, and
I'm gonna just say it, like I'm not in on Lad. Okay, I think we kind of like get into this situation or like where we're like, okay, he's good, X, Y, and Z, and that's important. I'm not saying that's not important, but like we're drafting him in the mid-second round. Is he gonna score points? Like, can you score 300 plus points? If I don't think you can score 300 plus points in the second round, like I don't think you have that capability, I'm not drafting you.
I was actually also considering AJ Brown, who fell.
Love him. Like
I was considering him there. That's the other person I was kind of decided through.
So
I do think Drake London. There's a small chance he can finish as like the top wide receiver this year.
Exactly.
Very small. But,
exactly.
I don't know if it's necessarily very small. I mean, I think they got a quarterback upgrade with Penix, especially.
I'm on the board, fellas.
Kirk Cousins on his last leg.
Let's
got Reek out there.
So going back to this Genty team. Okay, we're gonna get to that. Going back to this Genty team real quick though. So I'm not a fan of what they just did because they took Lamar Jackson in the second round. So it's almost like Lamar normally, especially like in the early drafts, was going third, fourth round towards the back end of the draft. And so there are going to be plenty of teams, not just with only Ashton Genty and Lamar Jackson, but then also like Brian Thomas or a Malik Neighbors or Brock Bowers or Christian McCaffrey or A-Chain. So to me,
it's not making it unique anymore.
It's not making it. And you're fighting from behind. You're starting behind the 8 ball, and anything can happen.
Let me take that back. It will kind of make it unique because they're going to pick somebody in the fourth round that nobody else that has that combination of players usually gets, right?
Well,
but it's gonna if the value of that player is not high enough, you start behind everybody else that got him. So
you find it because you're threading a really, really fine needle because like each round we sort of kind of matriculate through. The percentage of like that pick hitting drops less and less. So you're basically almost like drafting as if you didn't draft your first round pick. I'm not a fan of that build at all.
What about teams like what is this team? 7 that's right next to Dio? Went Saquon, Derrick Henry, and Kyron Williams, 3 running backs back to back. I mean, like we've seen, zero RB be successful. I think people have been trying robust.
Be successful last year.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what I'm saying. So, like, do you guys think that we can have a robust running back like?
Like you said, we saw it successful last year. But the thing to remember about last year is remember Jacobs was going a little bit later. Saquon was going a little bit later. So you were getting those bills, but you were also getting like an elite wide receiver with it. The thing to me about the market sort of kind of adjusting to how running backs performed last year and how wide receivers performed last year are a couple different things. One is just you can decide which side of the argument are you on. Did the NFL change in a way where like this is going to continue to be a thing where running backs are going to continue to like score these points? But the bigger thing to me and the more important thing is like to me last year was an outlier as far as a lot of these running backs staying healthy. Even if we just remove age and we remove like somebody getting a lot of touches. The idea of like that many running backs, high-end running backs staying healthy all season long was just like that almost never happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, like it's just like, do I want to bet on an historical outlier, to that degree? I've been finding myself like really just like not necessarily targeting specific handcuffs, but just making sure like I'm getting handcuffs in drafts. Especially because I feel like we're getting a discount. Last year and the years prior, like you were seeing handcuffs just going super high. Like guys were just going like in the 8th, 7th round, rookies that were like pretty much known to be starting back up, but it was just a rookie hype. But then even like other guys like Zach Charbonnet, a lot of guys were just going higher than I think they should have been going last year, without an actual primary role.
I mean, I look at it as, I really feel like every season is always just different.
Yeah.
Right. Like, last year happened the way it happened that last year. The year before that happened the way it happened that year. Like, I never want to say this next year is going to either be the same as last year or the same as any other year. I feel like every single year, you know what? I started thinking that way when it's crazy, major throwback, but I started thinking that way that season when the Dolphins played the Patriots and Ronnie Brown was the running back and they brought out that Wildcat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody before that was
Yeah.
ever doing the wild kick.
Yeah,
So it's like they did something that it wasn't a new thing because it
Yeah.
was done in college or little league, whatever.
Mhm.
But it's just that it was new to the league.
Yeah.
And then when they did it, all these other teams started doing it. And then all of a sudden, all the teams in the league
Yeah.
had a wildcat package.
Yeah.
But then over time, I mean, look now, nobody's doing it
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like the scene.
Until somebody
the-
figures it out. And
Right.
so one thing I think, like the tush push may be one of those things. And if you don't have a quarterback that like can
That can
necessarily
do
do
it.
the
Well, that's
tush
what
push,
it is.
and there's not a lot of
But I
quarterbacks
still
that can
think
do it.
I still think we're on the upward trajectory. With the
Yeah,
tush. I
exactly.
still think teams are still trying to do it.
Yeah.
If it gets to a point where either teams are just not successful or just not the right quarterback, people are getting hurt,
Yeah.
then it probably start to fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that's why Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
But hey, like you're 3 picks away. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're 3 picks away,
Let's
Dio.
see.
Who are you thinking at this point? Kamara
And-
just came off the board.
And his third round pick for the audio listeners was Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
draft starting off really, really nice for you. I gotta
CeeDee
say.
Lamb, Drake London, Rashee Rice. That's not a bad pickup.
I think I'm gonna go Hurts.
Oh, so you're gonna go ahead and
We
take a
really
quarterback off
talking
the
about
board.
it. I really don't want to, but I don't want another receiver here.
Mm-hmm.
Big tier break here.
Yeah, it's a
Big
big
tier break,
tier
yeah.
break. I don't want Chuba as my starting running back, and the rest of Mixon is too far down.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Laporta, but I don't know how I feel about him this season,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna pass up on him.
So-
if let's, for sake of argument, say I didn't have 3 receivers already and had to pick through these receivers, I'll probably go with Mike Evans or Tet.
Okay.
But again, I'm gonna go Hurts, and I think there's a high chance one of those receivers is gonna fall back to me in the next round.
Yeah.
Ideally, it'll be Tet.
In a draft like this, where you see,
Wait,
Jeffy
does
going.
he not like being called Tet?
No, his mom does not want him to be called.
So what
Ted.
what is T-Mac?
You can call him T-Mac.
Okay,
If you
I'll
can't
call him
pronounce
T-Mac. I call him T-Mac.
Tetrola.
But
yeah, I think in a draft like this, where you see guys like reaching or taking guys well ahead of ADP, and especially like that's like that guy's in front of you twice now. Like, yeah, take that chance. Like, this is the perfect draft to see. Okay, like what kind of crazy, insane builds that I can build? Yeah, because the board changes, and the board will change. Like things that we're saying that are value now, come September may not seem like values.
Right.
Guys go up, guys go down. And I think sometimes when we always talk about the guys that are rising down the board, but we never talk about them in relation to the guys that are going down the board. So you'll kind of like so you kind of like pick out a guy and be like, oh man, I can't believe you got so and so at such a late pick. But then you look at your 5th round pick and you're like, okay, well that guy used to go a lot later. So it's almost like the difference between
even it out.
Yeah, it evens out a little bit. But I will tell you,
all these ADPs in the
drafting in March was crazy. Because if I show you some of the crazy builds drafting in March, it's so hard to like get Kamara, and Kenneth Walker on my teams now. Those are guys who I was just like so overweight on because like now
I was kind of hoping he fell here too.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. I was looking at Hampton. I still don't think I could have done it.
Yeah.
I might have just done it just for being a unique build, and his value is probably higher than it's ever going to be now.
Yeah.
It might go higher, I guess. But I don't know if I wanted him.
Yeah, I struggle with Hampton too.
Can we go back to Laporta for a second? Because we talked about that Detroit offensive line. Obviously, they lost their center, which is extremely important to any offensive line.
Yeah.
And so we kind of deduced that, hey, maybe, especially with guys like Jared Goff, they need to get he's going to need to get the ball out faster, which could help Amon-Ra. But doesn't that also help Laporta as well, being a pass-catching tight end, like being closer to the offensive line, not necessarily J-Mo, but is that a reason that we should be thinking twice on Sam Laporta? Because he has the talent. I mean, like he has the skill set.
For me, that's I won't say it's a reach because like that thought and like if you draft that way or like in one draft you draft with that notion, like okay, make sure you draft your team based on that. Like okay, so maybe you get Amon-Ra and Laporta. That's like how you see it. But it's just overall like just as a whole like to me like that's just too much. That's too hard to like
too much
imagine. That's too much if to like project. Like you just never
don't
know.
look like Ted's gonna fall to me. I might have to scoop up Connor.
I don't know, like this, but these next 2 teams, or
Man, don't
if this
jinx
team
them.
right here,
Don't jinx them.
No, you talk the board all the time. I believe
if this team right here doesn't pick up Tet, then I think the team after that will pick up a running back. So he might fall to you. But it just depends on if this team, like picks him up. But
I keep saying my bad, Ted. If you're watching, it's T-Mac. Sorry.
I'm not calling him T-Mac.
I'll call
We
him
already got a
T-Mac.
T-Mac
That's his
in
mom.
sports.
Man, that's what his mom wants him to call him.
I don't care what
That's his name.
I don't care.
You call him T-Mac.
His mama call him T-Mac, so I'm gonna call him T-Mac.
What's his actual name? Teterioa?
Yeah.
Teterioa?
And I'm sure he doesn't want us to call him by his whole name.
Why not? That's his name.
I would
I
want you to
know,
call him by the
but
whole
most people like don't want you to call him by their full name.
Oh, DeAndre Swift went early.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's rousing up the board.
Yeah, there's no way he takes Tet here.
No, he probably gonna
I'm playing the jinx.
Tetiario.
There's no way he takes
I'm
Tet.
either gonna take him or Connor. If I take him, this is gonna be a straight zero running back team. So this is gonna kind of be fun.
Yeah.
Kind of figure out what running backs I end up building it with.
Yeah. I started out the draft season like with just a lot of these like kind of zero hero or just like heavy wide receiver builds.
I still think we're there though. I know we were talking about last week how you shift through the draft season, you start taking running backs earlier. Training camp hasn't started yet.
It hasn't. They're still like guys.
And been able to get the opportunity. To
They're moving up.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like they're moving up too early.
Yeah.
Because anything can still happen.
Yeah, anything can still happen. Yeah.
All right, RJ Harvey.
I told you it's gonna fall to me. That's why I say you speak things into existence. You believe it's gonna happen, you just let it happen, right?
Yeah. But you having a nice little. I wish I would have hopped in the draft. Yeah, that's nice. But I was saying like now that like I'm kind of shifting a little bit. Part of it's because I want to diversify, but also part of it is because man, I just feel like I built a lot of teams that I really like. Where because a lot of the guys that I was drafting late, like they're the ones that have risen up the board. Right. So it's been making it a lot easier. You know, so like, I don't even have to draft those guys anymore. So now like I've been focusing on, you know, getting some of these early round running backs. But as I've been doing that, I've actually started to notice like I've never been a big believer in the wide receiver position being deep. Like to me, like, you know, the wide receiver, like 2s and 3s, like those aren't really like positions that I want.
Yeah.
You know, like when I'm drafting my wide receiver 2, I'm literally drafting with the idea that this guy can bust into the wide receiver 1 category. That's how I draft my wide receiver 2. Otherwise, like I could care less. Right. I don't care about a guy like averaging 10 to 12, even 13 points a game. I really want a guy. 15 points is like my cutoff. So like I really want to see that. That's why it's hard for me to draft some of these other guys because without an injury, it's hard for me to see them actually getting that 15 points per game. But now that I've shifted, like drafting more running backs early, I'm actually starting to kind of identify and pick like wide receivers that I feel like that is a very real possibility. So actually this year is one of the few years where I actually feel like wide receivers are deep. Yeah, just maybe because like the guys that I prefer, the guys that maybe I'm high on or that I think I can hit on, like those guys are going much, much later in drafts. So it's been nice kind of getting the opportunity to draft some of these guys. Some of these guys, I mean, are going like 8th, 9th, 10th round. So
I just still think, and again, I've only done like a few of these drafts so far. I think I did one other zero running back team, but I haven't done it much at all. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what running backs I take later. But I just still think we're at a high risk, time period where these running backs can start getting hurt.
Very true.
A guy could, tear his ACL in practice, ankle injuries, all these crazy things that happen. Nothing's happened thus far. Like literally every running back is healthy right now. Every single one, right? So, and we know that typically doesn't happen. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it's impossible for it to happen, right? Crazier things have happened. But the most common scenario that occurs is like a third of the running backs get wiped out.
Yeah.
We've seen seasons where half of the running backs, if not more, get wiped out throughout the season. So you look at this board now and it looks great for certain teams, but then you look at week 6, it's like, damn, what happened to my team? And now you're scrambling because guess what? When people are like, they'll just take, the running backs and waiver wire or whatever, I'm still going to go after those running backs with you, right? We're all competing for those waiver wire picks. Even if I'm deep at running back, I'm not going to let you just, load up on these
you got
guys.
to spend some fab on this one.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
So you can start 4 running backs in FFPC. So like,
yeah. So, I mean, I still think we're in a danger period, but there is a point during draft season where I am going to definitely try to load up on running backs early. Because I do believe in the running backs and certain ones I like. I think Kenneth Walker is still going late. I guess he's kind of coming up a little bit because I really thought
he's coming up a little bit though. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I like the guys that ended up falling to me because I don't think Rice is going that late anymore. I don't think T-Mac is going that late anymore. I definitely reached on Hurts, but that's fine. Whatever.
Not much of a reach.
I do think this year maybe I would prefer a high-end quarterback over figuring out the later guys. I think that's what I prefer this year.
I think it's only a reach if that guy is not going to come back to you.
Talking about Hurts?
Yeah, like based on ADP.
I mean,
and he wouldn't have come back
really
to you.
Look at it like if you flip the picks, like T-Mac in the 4th, I think is has been happening, and it hurts in the fifth, so it's the same type of draft. So maybe I didn't get it right. Maybe I ended up, evening out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
chances are.
Jameson Williams fell in this draft too.
Yeah.
So I got a tough decision. I'm on the clock, pissing off a lot of people because I'm like really bleeding this clock in a slow vein.
You in a 6 hour, man. People have to accept 6 hours is 6 hours.
Yeah, I'm trying to like make this decision between.
So y'all think Connor's gonna fall to me?
No, I think Connor.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah. I thought he was about to.
I know
I thought he was gonna go to that next pick.
I think I know who is gonna fall to. You're gonna have to make a tough decision.
You gonna make me take Mixon?
I might have to make you take anything.
I don't want Mixon.
So the thing is, like, I mean,
you could be wrong though. He took him for you.
Oh,
Isaiah,
okay.
it's interesting. Isaiah Pacheco in the 5th round is interesting. That's pretty early, but
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see what happens.
are we sure Pacheco is gonna be able to hold on to that job, man? Like,
Who's gonna take it from him?
I think any competent running back, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think Pacheco is
in
good.
a little bit of a
He'll run through a closed door.
spot.
So where you going?
But tight end, wide receiver.
I'm not taking Kelsey.
You just go another wide receiver. That
I am gonna go another wide receiver. Actually, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Kels
Trying to figure out which
That's
one.
the true.
Y'all was sleeping on Kels, man. Like he could really finish as a top 2 or 3 tight end.
That would not be the next tight end I would take off the board. That's just me though.
I was considering Zay, but
Judy.
I went Judy.
Yeah.
You really high on Judy, huh?
I am high on Judy this year.
Yeah, I mean, most drops in the NFL last year.
You don't think? What do you think?
Crazy.
What about Cedric Tillman?
He's good.
And then Njoku.
He's good too.
And then you're not worried about the quarterback position.
No, I think that team's gonna have to throw all day long.
Okay.
I think they might win around, but they're gonna have to throw.
Yeah.
I think Judy is their number one guy. They paid him literally as soon as they got to him.
Yeah.
He has high ceiling. I mean, we saw him have a 200-yard game last year. I think he had the most yards in a single game last year.
Yeah.
Pro Bowl receiver.
Yeah.
Why not?
I've kind of cooled off.
And Joe locked in on him, so I mean,
right. Yeah. I mean, they got a better quarterback than they had all last year.
Yeah.
So this is. I keep saying this, but like I really truly believe this 5th, 6th round, especially the 6th round, specifically, like. Because all these guys, you can just like no matter who goes in the 6th round, at either 601 or 6012, like no one would be surprised. No one would say, "Oh, you reach," or to me, it's just like a very difficult tier to sort of kind of figure out. Yeah, because definitely the far majority of these guys are not going to hit. A lot of these guys are going to be absolute busts. Mm-hmm. A couple of these guys will just hit value, but 5th, 6th round.
I don't know. I think it's a. I don't know. I think it's a interesting round where you might have some hits. Like
I think some people can. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's so important.
I think this is the round where if you do hit, it's gonna transform your team.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So you got to So this is like the money round to me. This is why I'm like stuck on the clock trying to figure out: do I want J-Mo? Do I want Chris Godwin?
Yeah.
Do I want Travis Hunter?
If you just have to just look at the board right now and just go thumbs up or thumbs down on hitting or not hitting, Travis Hunter. Or do you think he hits?
My ownership percentage definitely says thumbs up.
You think I'm talking about during the season?
Yeah. Like, I mean, do you think that like he's gonna hit?
I mean, we talked about Hunter. My sentiments haven't changed, so
I know, but just pure like thumbs up, thumbs down. Like, do you think he's gonna?
I don't know. I right now, if I had to put my money out, I would say no, but I don't know. Like, I have no conviction either way.
J-Mo.
No conviction either way.
When you say hit, do you mean surpasses his ADP?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: when
it lives up to ADP.
When I
that's different.
Starting,
that's different. That's different.
When I have these,
all these guys can live up to ADP.
Are you talking about live up to ADP?
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about like hitting.
Well, I'm talking about hitting too, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about hitting.
If you look at those two players specifically, it's like when I have conviction on players because I feel like I've seen the situation, and I'm truly like believe that situation is going to be the same, and I can make a bet on that.
Yeah.
With both those two players, both their situations are totally different than they were last year.
Yeah.
Specifically, Hunter, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's coming in. We don't know how they're even going to use him yet.
Yeah.
Jameson, just so much has changed. So much has changed in the Lions' offense. They lost their offensive coordinator. They lost the offensive lineman. Like you were just saying, with the center gone, what if they have to throw quicker passes? So I can't bet on either one. I feel like they're both one of those high risk, high reward type players. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's almost like this round. You can decide. You can take a player like Ridley, which is just like, to me, I think you like know what you're going to get with Ridley.
Yeah, high floor player.
Yeah,
I would say I would say higher floor than those two other players because he's the wide receiver one for his team.
Yeah,
they theoretically have an upgraded quarterback.
Yeah,
and the coach, I believe, came from the Bengals coaching tree.
Yeah.
So he has that pedigree of being able to throw the ball. So
yeah, it's basically to me, it's almost like you kind of getting what you got last year with Ridley. He's also older, but like you know what you're getting. Like so for me, like in that round, I'm like, you know what? I could just draft like Michael Pittman like 3 rounds later. That's almost how I feel. Or I could draft, or maybe Josh. But I just feel like I can get Pittman 3 rounds later. I feel like I can get Diggs 3 rounds later. You know,
See,
or
but that's
like
sort of what I feel like when I compare Chuba and Tony Pollard. It's like, well, like I can get Tony Pollard like in a 6. Like, why am I jumping for Chuba?
yeah.
Like,
If you don't, well, to me, I feel like for me, Chuba's situation has changed quite a bit. That's why I'm not high on him. But if you were just thinking they were doing the same thing they did last year, Chuba, I would definitely be taking where he's going right now.
yeah. So 2 picks
I
away.
think I might end up going. This is gonna be slightly a reach too, but these running backs are so bad right now. Like David Montgomery, that situation might be totally different. And the next running back on the board would be, or on the ADP list would be Warren. So I'm probably going to go Warren. ETN is here. Jordan Mason, I like. Tracy, I like.
Oh man, yeah. You good, man? I don't know. I would go tight end.
Me too. I mean,
And there's
Jordan
one time,
Mason.
Tight end I like is Njoku.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
like 100% just go.
That's who I like.
Yeah, I would have taken him over Judy, because I feel like you could like you probably would have had.
I can take Njoku and I can play whichever one is the better player.
Exactly.
Whoever ends up being the number 1 guy there.
Yeah.
So that's probably a good thing to do.
Because where you're at,
Warren might end up coming back to me.
And you're like in a unique part of the draft. Like I know Jennings is kind of having his kind of issues, whatever. But you're like in a unique part of the draft where there's still like wide receivers that fall back to you. Like is Chris Olave taking
I'm not even really looking at.
That's why, like, I wouldn't have taken Judy.
Yeah, Chris Olave is like already gone. So
but I'm not even looking at wide receiver here. Again, if you go back to the 6th round, what would you have picked instead of Judy?
That's what I'm saying.
Pollard.
Because I knew those wide receivers.
Okay.
Because I knew those wide receivers would be there in the 7th.
Yeah.
Based on ADP,
I wouldn't have went Pollard.
I would have taken Njoku.
But I knew Njoku was probably going to fall because Ingram and Kelsey was still available.
But his ADP is actually at the back.
It ended up happening, right?
It did end up happening.
So
go ahead and take him. Yeah.
I don't like any of these running backs that are around me.
This
is
the tough part. This is the tough part.
They're all ugly.
Normally, like in like most drafts, I feel like you probably would have been able to get like a Pacheco or something like that. But this is, this might be one of the things too, where like as you start to kind of see the influx of new drafters coming in, because I do feel like people are drafting more running backs this year. You may start to see like these running backs coming pushed up the board too as well. So you may just need to kind of like maybe play the board if you are not wanting.
No, this is cool because y'all know me. I'm a waiver wire guy.
Yeah,
I'm always looking for those sleeper guys. So it's fine because I do think my wide receivers are going to be pretty strong. They should be. They better be at least.
Yeah.
But every time I have an opportunity to take a running back, it's like, I don't really like this guy.
Yeah. But this is how you do zero RB build to me.
Well, not yet.
Not just 4 wide receivers. I like getting 5 good wide receivers. I like having a strong quarterback, and then to me, I think you have a strong tight end. Like to me, you just want to hit it all. You got to hit it all those other positions,
right?
And then like you find that like gem at running back. But
I got to get one solid running back, an anchor running back to some extent. And again, I don't know if Warren's going to fall to me because again, running back at this point is very, very thin.
Well, everybody behind you has at least 2 running backs.
Everybody, look, the guy next to me got 4
to
start the draft. There's a bunch of people that got 3. So, a lot of people kind of, like you said, went heavy running back.
But, some people like to play defense and some people like to
that's fine.
This guy has 0.
I'm not really worried about that.
That's never really worked out for me. Like,
it doesn't work out for anybody.
I love when people do that. I'm like, all right, give me.
That's never really worked out.
But what
I know who he
wants. When I do 0 running back teams, what I'm looking for in running backs is guys I think can outproduce their value.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, where I'm taking them now, like as the season progresses, they're going to do way better than that. I'm not looking for a guy where I'm taking him where I think his value is going to be that season. Like I'm not looking for a 7th or 8th round guy. I'm looking for a guy that I took in the 7th or 8th round, but should have been like a 4th round type player.
But we all want that.
Of course, we all want it.
Who you taking?
I'm not not yet. So, and when I look at David Montgomery, I don't think his value is going to increase unless
is he still on the board?
Injury. Yeah.
He's still on the board?
He was the next running back that was up on ADP.
Okay, yeah. I can't.
I think he'd still be around.
It's hard for me to pull the trigger. I haven't been able to pull the trigger on David Montgomery any of the years. Right. I've been wrong pretty much most of the year because he's just been like. But it's hard for me just to like pull the trigger on that.
Yeah.
And then offensive line losing 2 O linemen, different loss of coordinator. But they could still run on all cylinders and he could still be a thing. I just feel like if the market is telling me Jamar Gibbs is no longer a 3rd-round pick and he's a 1st-round pick, an early 1st-round pick, then the market should also be telling me that they think Dave Montgomery's getting phased out.
Wasn't Dave Montgomery like a 4th or 5th round pick last year? So he is already kind of falling.
He was a 4th or 5th round pick, but Jahmyr Gibbs was like a 3rd-round pick last year.
Right. I'm just saying, like, I think those issues that you're saying have already baked into his value. Like, he is going
not enough.
You don't think?
So you think
he should go even?
I think if Jamar Gibbs, if you're telling me Jamar Gibbs is a top, 3, top 4, top 5
he should be
running
going
back,
around with Charbonnet be doing.
Oh, you think
basically
he's a straight handcuff?
Yeah.
Like a straight up handcuff then.
If you're telling me that Gibbs is a top 3 pick,
because if David Montgomery is going in the 6th round for his ADP, then you're telling me he's a usable.
Well, he's 7th, really.
Well, in this draft, but his ADP is 6th round.
Okay.
You're telling me he's a usable week-to-week running back, which is he's been more than usable before that. But this year, you're telling me he's a usable week-to-week running back.
Mm-hmm.
When he's been a week-to-week usable running back that you can plug and play in your lineup, Jahmyr Gibbs has not been a top 5 running back.
Right.
He's not been. So he would have to be way more efficient than he's already been with David Montgomery getting a similar workload.
Yeah.
And it can't just be just like, okay, let me just we maybe he gets like 5-10% more. It has to be he gets significant amount more of the work.
Right. Well,
and I don't know which one.
There go Warren.
Yeah. Mm. I guess you could tell yourself a story in the draft and say, okay, yes, Montgomery's going to get that workload. And then in another draft,
but if you say that,
Montgomery's not going
to say,
Montgomery's
getting the workload this draft, which means Gibbs is going to bust.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of tell yourself those type of things.
So, like, here's one of those teams where I know that you're going to feel uneasy about pushing a button on this guy. I don't. Like, I have a lot of Javonte Williams, but like, this is a Javonte team. Starting the running back that you need.
Hey, and you get the first look.
No.
And you get a first look.
Get the first look.
No.
Granted, he plays the Philadelphia Eagles, but you still get the first look.
Not at all.
You got to go Javonte.
No. I'm probably actually going to go take Jordan Mason.
I don't mind that because
I'm actually probably if he falls, but this draft has been weird so far.
If you're like betting on somebody getting hurt.
But that early though, I mean, but you got to get to win that. Damn, he just went.
They're taking all of them. Ooh, this is an ugly draft for me.
It seems ugly right now.
No, I'm gonna have to just load up on running backs later.
Travis Etienne went.
All right. So Jacoby Myers just went. All right, so you got CeeDee Lamb as your first pick, Drake London, Rashee Rice as your 3rd pick, Jalen Hurts. You got
I like that Tyrone Tracy.
Like, I'm gonna have to chase this draft.
Yeah, but that's
the rest of the way.
All right, Jerry.
I'm gonna try to take running backs that I think again can outplay their ADP right now, and we'll see how it turns out.
All right, so you just took Tyrone Tracy as your first running back off the board. David Njoku, the pick before that, just to let the listeners know the draft picks before that. Tyrone Tracy, people have been, I mean, like Scatterboo may go like in the next few picks. I don't know why he's that close to Tracy. I actually like Tracy as well because he's a pass catching back.
Right.
I feel like he's a bit more dynamic as well. But do you feel uncomfortable about Singletary though, or do you think?
I forgot that Singletary was on the team, but no, I don't feel uncomfortable with that
because Tracy didn't get that job until Singletary got hurt. So
no, I mean Singletary was the vet,
but they gave the job to Tracy.
Yeah, but he was injured. But Singletary was injured.
No, but when he came back, he held on to it.
Right,
I mean, at this point, again, the way I got to draft this because I went straight 0 running back. I have to literally take bets. Just shot their running back. Basically, unload the clip on as many running backs that I think can outplay their position and hope. Really, I got to hope 2 of them hit, right? But I am going to say the guys I took before them, all the guys, I like all my receivers. I like my quarterback and I like my tight end. So I'm looking at my team like my weakness, which is a glaring whole weakness, is their running back position. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but that's where the goal is, right?
Running back is one of the most easy positions to replace, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to tell myself that kind of story.
But you said, it's early. Like, even I know you have been not a Bashal Tootin guy, but this could be a draft where you what if I'm, boom, boom. Because that's those ambiguous backfields are where you're hitting right now.
This is the time where the value is going to be the value. Because once training camp starts, start getting those reports, getting injuries start to occur. All the guys here, that's when they're going to start to shoot up.
I was thinking about this the other day, and you always say this is a good thing, and this is helped me out a lot with drafting. That all handcuffs are the same.
Yeah.
I know if everybody got hurt, that a certain running back or certain handcuff would be ranked higher than another handcuff. Like I
Right.
get that.
Right.
But
And
right
all
now,
things are equal.
yeah,
But it's never
but it's never
It's
equal.
never equal, yeah.
So the perfect example of that is like when you look at ADPs and you look at drafts and you look at like, okay, which handcuffs go, it's always the same players.
Yeah.
And some of them go super high.
Yeah, that's group thing.
So, but I mean, not just group think. I mean, that's just like there's logic behind it. Like I get the logic behind it, but like
right,
I've actually,
I'm saying everybody has the same logic.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
exactly. So the greatest example of that is literally what just happened this past weekend with Quinshon Judkins. Like say like he actually like gets put on the not the NFI but the commissioner exempt list.
Yeah.
Like say this is actually like a real thing. Like and he's actually out for like indefinite. He still hasn't even signed a contract yet, right? So nobody was really talking about Sampson or Ford or whoever you feel like between the two as like the handcuff. But either of those guys like are still going in and past like the high end handcuff range.
Right.
And either of those guys could be the main guy.
Right.
Like you talk about Dylan Sampson, are you like a big fan of Dylan Sampson? You talk about what he did in the SEC last year.
He was an SEC
big boy conference.
SEC player of the
a
year.
big boy conference. And like they took Quinshon Judkins and then in the fourth round were like, wait, Sampson's still here? And decided to take him again. So like when it comes to handcuffs, it's almost like decision. Like I let the board, like I will play the ADP so I can make sure that I can get certain guys. I definitely do not reach, and I'm not like, oh man, I missed out on this guy. So like, damn,
that's one thing about
I just like take them whoever. Like it's just like a like okay, like what is this team gonna have? What is
That's
this team gonna have? What is this team gonna have?
One approach I have to literally every draft I ever do.
Yeah.
Which I don't ever get really upset. I never get mad when I miss out on a guy. I never go into any draft hoping, man, I got to get this guy, right? And if I don't get him, damn, like threw off my whole draft. I literally let the drafts come to me every single time. So, I almost like after the draft players, I almost look back and like, wow, that's interesting how that played out. So this again is pretty interesting. I don't think I would have imagined this the way the draft would have came, but I'm gonna take.
You're making me nervous over there.
I already know who I'm gonna get. I always know who I'm gonna get.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Why not? Yeah, you're a JK guy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So right now, if Tracy ends up being the guy, I really got 2 starting run backs in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right now.
And JK kind of. I mean, this is very different situations, but JK is almost kind of like thinking back to last year, Chuba Hubbard and
that
was
the situation.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously he was injured.
He was injured. Yeah. It was a little
Jonathan
different.
Brooks. Yeah.
It was a little different. But so now that I got those 2 guys again, I'm hoping Tracy is the starter. You know, if he's not, kind of throws it off. But if he's a starter, and I do believe Dobbins is going to be the starter, that allows me to get through the first part of the season.
Yeah.
While the rest of the year I can kind of figure out
things out,
who the running backs are going to be. And in some cases, it might end up still being Tracy and Dobbins, which is kind of cool. I would get them late, but y'all know me. I'm going to probably take stabs at rookie running back soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to probably, I don't know, if Spears falls to me, I might look at him because I like Spears a little bit this year.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, Tootin, just another running back situation as far as rookie running back. So,
what about that New Orleans backfield? I mean, Alvin Kamara's getting a little long in the tooth, man. Like at some point,
the problem I have with that is there hasn't been any certain reports of who the
it's like 5 guys there.
Guy is.
Yeah.
It's like 5 guys. Is it?
You got Kendra Miller, you got Devin Neal. They signed CEH.
Yeah.
And Akers. They have Akers there. Don't forget about KKM Akers there. Yeah.
Akers.
So, I mean, they got like a lot of people. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, if you were to take one of them, you're making a bet on 1 out of 4 without really being, sure about it. Now, if this is like the 19th or 18th or 20th round, maybe. Yeah. But not anytime soon.
So when will you start to double up on tight ends? Like you took a tight end in the 7th. Are you gonna? I mean, like, is Njoku gonna be that guy for you? And you just gonna?
No. We'll see
so
how
when are you
it plays
gonna?
out. We'll see how it plays out. There's certain tight ends I like. Like I like the rookies. Both those guys just went. Let me see the list of tight ends so I can kind of tell you who some targets would be. I like Dallas Goedert. I like Jonnu Smith-Falling. I like Isaiah Likely. I like Strange. I like Ertz a little bit. And I think Hunter Henry's undervalued this year.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hunter Henry?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And all those guys are late. So I'm good with any of them.
I don't know.
I'm probably gonna end with maybe 3 tight ends though.
Okay. Maybe Britton Strange.
My last tight end's probably gonna be Juwan Johnson or maybe Terrence Ferguson.
Oh, you and Juwan. I forgot you and Juwan.
Yeah. Undervalued. I really believe that.
I mean, like, does it really matter that much that he's playing with his college quarterback?
That's not the reason I'm high on him. I just think he's a starting tight end that's undervalued. He's produced a little bit in the past. They just gave him a 3-year contract. They don't have many other weapons there.
Yeah, but whenever
they're probably going to be losing a lot of games, so they're going to have to throw the ball. And on top of all that, cherry on the top is that's his college quarterback.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, they've been losing games for a while, and he hasn't been that guy to be able to step into that role and be like a serviceable
2
tight
years ago,
end.
David Carr, he had some pretty good games with David Carr, actually. Last year, their quarterback was the worst situation in the league.
Yeah.
And if Show is an improvement, again, if Rattler's the guy, then all bets are off on everybody.
Yeah.
But if Show really is an improvement at quarterback, they took the guy in the beginning of the second round. Rookie quarterbacks usually like their tight ends. Why not? And I'm not saying Juwan Johnson's the guy I'm going to take high. Juwan Johnson I could probably get in like the 15th, 16th round.
If not later than that.
Yeah, 17th round. Yeah.
You know, it's a cheap bet.
Yeah. Zach Charbonnet just went off the board.
Mm-hmm.
What round is this?
10th.
Okay, so that's not bad. That's not a bad thing.
So since we're halfway through the draft, and since we've all technically booked our flights now, I think it's important to tell the listeners that we'll be in Vegas to draft live for opening weekend for FFPC's live draft.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be there we're going to be there live, in effect.
Yeah, man.
FFPC, main event. We'll be at all the festivities.
Yeah.
Live watch party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think that live watch party is going to be like, though?
Say what?
That
live watch party? It's going to be interesting. Honestly, like, all I can think about is, like, okay, like, how am I going to use this in the draft?
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely going to be doing drafts after that game. Because I want to just, like, the psychology of it all. Like, I purposely got into drafts last year because I was like, oh, yeah, people are definitely going to be, like, drafting some of these guys pretty high, like Reed and Likely. Yeah. And even though it may be minor, like, that's still, like, ADP bumps. It's just, like, you know.
Who's the game on Thursday?
So we got 2 games before the Sunday game.
Yeah. Who's the game on Thursday?
I think it's
that's the Kansas City.
I think the watch party is only a Thursday night.
Yeah.
So
right.
It's Kansas City Chargers game.
It can't be Kansas City. It has to be the Eagles. They won the Super Bowl.
Okay, well then it's the Eagles.
So like, is that a rule
Dallas.
that like whoever wins the Super Bowl has to be the first?
So the Eagles and Cowboys. Eagles and Cowboys. Yeah.
Cowboys. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's a nice first look game, though. I mean, there's a lot of weapons.
If the Cowboys, put up a fight, Cowboys were not good last year. I mean, we can hope because they got, injured players back, but it's still a new coach.
Yeah.
Their running back is probably worse than it was last year.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
Yeah,
and it's also a rivalry game, which can be a good or bad thing. It can be a good thing where they know each other well enough to be competitive, or it can be a bad thing where the Eagles might just try to curse stomp them because they're trying to show they're the superior team.
Yeah, it could be I doubt it's going to be an ugly game. We just haven't seen the Eagles play bad in like a long time.
Yeah.
That offense has just been so dumb.
I'm going to probably go Tajay Spears here. If not him, I'm going to take Tootin.
Let me see.
I wonder how far Najee Harris is going to fall.
Oh, snap. Najee is there.
Pretty far.
You think he's going to fall further?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man.
I would have taken Tootin.
I know. I know who you like. I know exactly who you like.
Tootin. Yeah, you're not worried about the eye injury with Najee?
Nah. Okay. I hope he falls to the 11th, actually, because I probably would take him.
That's probably why he's going to fall to the 11th because, damn, there he goes.
He just went.
You're terrible at this game. I guess he's not going to fall that late now.
Nah. But that, he could still be the starter there and hold on to that job. He could. It could be a split backfield.
He's not going to be like that's where like the term starter doesn't mean anything because he's not going to be in a situation where he's just going to get like
that's a good point.
A significant amount of workload where he's just like, oh yeah, like I'm going to be like locking him in my lineup.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely could see a situation where he's like getting the same exact percentage of touches he was getting week 1. My whole issue with that offense is less so like I would buy in if Greg Roman used his running backs a little bit more in the passing game and there was a little bit more cushion there for Amari and Hampton. Otherwise, I'm just betting on like him being hell of efficient with whatever touches he gets.
I just think
don't
in
like
the
that.
11th round, that would have been a crazy value.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he was going much, much higher before.
And a first look.
And the first look, yeah. Right now, the way I'm looking at the board, I'm looking at Rashad White as my next running back. If not him.
God, he's falling off so tough because we were drafting him high last year.
It's because nobody knew what Bucky Irvin was.
Yeah.
I think now everybody's gone the opposite way, too far because they were still using Rashad White even in the playoffs.
And Bucky,
and Bucky can get hurt.
Bucky get hurt.
A small running back.
Yeah.
Like
and Rashad White is also using the passing game. Like
all these people, like all these running backs we can get excited about, or that we're excited about, and that like we really want to draft, they can get hurt.
Right.
Like all of them can get hurt. Every single Bijan. Nobody thinks Bijan can get hurt. You will never hear but he can get hurt. All these guys can get hurt. They play the running back position.
So Chris, the way I'm seeing it, probably would go if Tootin falls. I don't think Tootin's gonna fall, but if Tootin falls, that's what I'm taking. But if not, I'll go Rashad White. There goes Tootin right there. I'll go Rashad White, and then on the comeback,
Jalen Wright.
I'm gonna hope Likely is there.
No, go Jalen Wright.
And then if Likely's not there, Wright would be the pick.
I gotta change my rankings. I gotta move.
You talking about that video you posted on?
Yeah, I gotta move. I gotta move A-Chain down. But it's not just been that. Like I'm excited about A-Chain. Like if there was no injury, like that I had to worry about, and we could just remove injury off the board. Take it off the board. Then A-Chain would be way up there, top 2, top 3.
What was that guy's reasoning for saying A-Chain was gonna get hurt? What was his actual?
What I think
main reason?
Just said like he was kind of banged up last season, didn't really miss any games, but like he's a guy who could miss
2 maybe.
But did he miss games?
He's a game historically throughout college. His first year in the league, who has like missed games, and he is a smaller guy.
He's from out here too.
Yeah,
he went to high school in Fort Bend.
Yeah. So
did he?
The track guy, yeah.
Man, all the grades come from Houston. Texas at least.
And then went to A&M.
Yeah, but I mean, like so. Yeah, to me that when we talk about the worry with Christian McCaffrey, I definitely have much more worry about A-Chain getting hurt than Christian McCaffrey getting hurt. So that's one I'm not gonna push like draft.
That's a hot take, actually. Most people wouldn't say that. Like I don't think the average person who's drafting would say, "Hey, you should actually fear injury with A-Chain more than you should with Christian McCaffrey."
You know what ultimately like had me like come to this like realization. It's like I'm looking at my ownership percentage. I'm like, how do I have this much Jalen Wright? Like it's insane. Like you have I had to like be active. Yeah, I had to like
you felt.
Oh my god! I apparently like subconsciously because I just like literally just been. I got so much Jalen Wright.
Is going to be the guy though. You don't think Madison will interfere with that at all? I'm just speaking devil's advocate.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm.
If he is not, then I'm holding the bag of just like Cole. But no, I think he's going to be the guy. I just think the draft capital, what they've invested, I'm hearing like what I'm reading is like they kind of changing the run scheme a little bit, something that can like favor him a little bit more. Damn. You hear some of the other running backs talk about like this is his year. Like I know most is like gone, but I could see a situation where like definitely if A-Chain goes down.
Let me go on brand then, Jalen Wright.
Yeah, grab him. He's explosive too. Somebody posted, how they'll post like all the touches of X player.
Oh no, he's
Twitter.
a fast dude. He went to
I
know.
He looked good.
They didn't use him much last year.
Yeah, he looked good.
So the question is, did they not use him because he wasn't good enough, or he didn't know what he was doing properly,
or maybe
the coach didn't trust him? We don't know how he is with the.
I think he got more work. Yeah, I think he got more work as the season went on too. But
I don't think he really got much work at all.
He didn't, but I think he got more work towards the back end of the season than he did the front. But
I would say this, and this might be nothing, but one of the OTA practices, I think he did so well, they gave him the orange jersey. And the orange jersey is for the player that had the best practice the day before. I remember like seeing a picture of him wearing orange jersey, and that was the caption. So I guess he's starting off on a good note. So we'll see how that goes.
Like nuggets like that, like
it may not things I pay attention.
It may not sound like much, but man, you just like now I got to get more.
Me.
Now I got to get more Jalen Wright.
Little nuggets, those little edges.
Yeah.
Should we look at Trey Benson the same way, considering that Connor is ahead of him, and Connor was obviously banged up last season, older running back, has a lot of mileage on him. Should we see Trey Benson as that same kind of running back?
Here's the difference, though. I think they used Benson, but he just wasn't good.
I didn't think Benson was good coming out of college. I was very confused on like why everyone was so hyped on him to begin with. But it's another year in the system.
Right.
He is
the only guy
explosive.
there too.
Yeah, and
they
they basically, I think in their mind, they're like, look, like you gonna get a chance. Like if James Conner goes down, like
you're gonna be
the guy.
I even think there was one interview where he actually said they were talking like it was him and Connor,
1A, 1B.
sharing the load.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of what he was saying. So
yeah,
there's something there. The question for me is just simply, is he good enough? Because again, I saw him play last year, and I feel like he just didn't show me. Like I wasn't excited about what I saw.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, a couple guys like that. Blake Corum was like that too. Like I was like,
I don't think we saw enough of Corum to necessarily knock him too much. I mean,
he, nothing special at all. But again, you don't need to be special in that system. If the coaches trust you and they know that, and they feel like you're going to do what you're supposed to do, you just need to be good enough. Mm-hmm. So like that's a situation. Like I don't know who's going to take over if Kyron Williams gets hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah. All these running backs like that did not get hurt last year. They all have me worried. They all have me worried because like
I wouldn't even.
Can you go 2 years? Like how many running backs go 2? This is an interesting study. How many running backs go 2 full years without getting hurt?
But I won't even say it should be something that worries you. I just think you should just understand it was so much of an outlier that it's almost impossible for it to happen again.
Yeah, so you got to regret.
Like, it's almost impossible. Something's going to happen, but it's like we're all still on that cloud 9 mindset from last year. Like we're all good, we're all safe. Like they got the starting job. Let's go. 16 games, no problem.
It's gonna be funny when zero RB Bills just like dominate this year, and then we go back to like mix it up a little bit.
Maybe, or maybe it's just a year where you just have to take the right players.
Yeah, because
maybe
I said
have to hit on guys, and because they end up just doing that well this season.
Yeah, because there's no reason like Tyler Algier to me, if we're talking about handcuffs or like backup running backs. Like Bijan could get hurt too, right? Like
I literally
Tyler Algier is someone who can
all these handcuffs have the same exact value.
But this is a crazy thing. We just like all of us have just said that. I was like I said that for like a good like 2-minute rant, and still in my mind, I don't think Bijan can get hurt. Like still in my mind, I'm just like you don't want to let me draft these other handcuffs. Like,
you don't like thinking,
But he isn't like. But I will say like you like look at the factors.
He's actually good too. I mean like.
But if you look at the factors with Bijan, younger, bigger, like kind of more of a true running back builds, it's a little bit different than like some of the smaller guys or some of the older guys that maybe have more factors that maybe make them a little bit more injury prone.
Man,
and then who also have a history of injury.
Went a little earlier than I thought he was going to go.
What round is that, 11?
11.
Hopefully Likely falls to me. I'll take Likely here just because I like him this year a lot.
Do you think he scores more than Andrews?
I think he can overtake Andrews, and I still think there's a chance Andrews could be traded. Maybe small.
So, like, we looked at that contract with Andrews a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. That's a hard contract to kind of get rid of.
Not really.
No, I mean,
like, I didn't think the Steelers would have went for it because the Steelers didn't want to pay Jonnu, so it was more than Jonnu. By the way, I think Jonnu is becoming a value as well. Like, everybody's kind of scared of him because he went to the Steelers and got to share with Freiermuth.
Yeah.
But what if he actually is being brought there to be the guy, and they actually have plans for him? If that's the case, he's supremely undervalued right now. So,
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, but that's the thing. But that's the reason why he's going so low. Yeah. Everybody feels like, I don't know. My thing is, we think about it one way, but what if it's not that? What's the alternative? And if the alternative does happen, if they end up using him like a legit tight end one, then he's going way too late right now.
Yeah. Well, I think things will have to change.
And they paid him.
Yeah, I think things will have to change for me. Because Pat Freiermuth was a tight end one last year. Mm-hmm. And whatever he did, like, I don't care. You can tell me he finishes a top 10, top 9 tight
Likely
end.
Just
I don't want that on my team.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want what Pat Freiermuth did last year.
But do you want what and it might be too long ago to remember, but do you remember when John was with the Falcons with Arthur Smith?
I don't want that on my team.
You don't want that?
No.
That was a good little
Not in a
It was a good little run because I was able to just
remember we kept wondering what's going on over there.
One, you picked him off a waiver. So the issues with that is
but
just
it wasn't a good run as a waiver ad. He was like a good, solid putting your lineup tight end.
See, but that's the thing. We think about that now, but like when we're going through it, the issue with that or the difficulty with that is like, one, it happens the first week. So then you definitely didn't have him in your lineup the first week.
Mm-hmm. You felt uneasy, but he did have a run. But this is what I'm saying. Like this is the difference between redraft and best ball. Is like
that Jonnu run, like the first week, you definitely didn't have him in your lineup. You didn't even
Yeah.
have him on your team.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, wait, okay, well, maybe this is the thing. Let me just pick him up and see.
Yeah.
Second week, you probably still didn't have him in your lineup. Third week, I don't even know if he like went off 3 weeks in a row. Maybe you had him in your lineup the third
He
week.
had a nice.
He had a good little run.
I was
He had a
playing.
good run.
But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like that confidence level of starting him week in and week
That's the
out.
thing.
But that's the tough thing.
But that was also a time period where nobody believed in Jonnu. He was a backup in our minds.
Yeah.
Nobody was even looking at Jonnu as anything special.
Yeah.
Now we had that season. The next year he goes to Miami. He has a nice little run with the Dolphins. And now they traded for him, gave him a contract and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Like there's reasons to actually believe in him now. Now, I'm not saying it's going to hit. Again, we're talking about guys going past the 11th round right now.
Yeah.
But if they do hit, you're getting somebody that's a crazy value.
All right. So you just drafted a guy, Jarquez Hunter, that we have not talked about. I don't think we've talked about Hunter all season long. Tell me, I don't rock. I personally don't remember us talking about Jarquez Hunter all season long.
Okay.
Why Jarquez Hunter over Corum, and why here?
I think first of all, I think he's the handcuff. So if you're asking me why over Corum, I don't think it was a question with that. Now I might be wrong, but that's the bet I'm making this year.
Yeah.
I think Hunter is the guy. Secondly, I think the Rams really like him. He's way more explosive. He tested way better than Kyren in everything. When they drafted him, you saw, if you remember the video, how excited Sean McVay was for them to draft him. He literally called him the best running back or his favorite running back in the whole draft. So the coach is excited about him. Right now, we're in the handcuff range, right? If Kyren goes down and he's as good as what it seems like the Rams are excited about, and he's as explosive in that offense, he's going to hit.
Yeah.
And that's only if Kyren goes down. What if he actually ends up being in a timeshare or just taking the job from Kyren?
Yeah.
Crazy hit. So, again, it's more of a betting on talent and hopeful situation.
Yeah.
So that's there.
Jonnu just went, so that's another tight end that you were considering.
Yeah, I think he's going up too late. And if he's still going now, that means somebody to some extent still believes him.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a best ball and he dropped to like the 16th round.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And again,
16th round I could see. Yeah, like that I could.
Right. I mean, if you think his value is taking a knock, but I think it's all perception based.
So the only way I see him like actually at least being somebody that I would want to draft is if like they just pass more. If they pass more and Aaron Rodgers is like really kind of zeroing in on him, because DK Metcalf may not be like an Aaron Rodgers type guy.
But the problem with that sentiment is you won't know it until it plays out.
Yeah.
Right. You won't know. So right now we're just making bets.
So, but I'm saying like the more ifs I got to make, the further down the draft board you're gonna go.
I think at this point of the draft, every value is flat. I think past.
Yeah, I disagree.
Past maybe the 10th round, I think you can literally make a case for every single player on the board if you could tell yourself a story. Everybody here has a story to be told.
All right, so tell me the story on Darren Waller. Obviously, took a year off last year, but you only have one tight end. Is Darren Waller a player that you consider?
What are you talking about? We talked about this 2 weeks ago.
Did we?
They just traded for a guy that was retired last year, who was trash last time they played him.
He wasn't trash last time they played him. He was hurt.
Last time, no, he was trash with the Giants. He was really not good, and he barely got a contract with $2 million. Man, I don't believe in that situation. I'm not even sure. Number one, he's going to start. I'm not even sure he's going to make the team. Yeah. Like it's a low. Well, Sampson went high. It's a low bet that he'll even make the team.
See, I'm surprised you didn't go Dylan Sampson over Jarquez Hunter.
No. I would have taken Sampson probably this next round.
So you don't think the Quinshon Judkins thing is much of it?
I think Judkins is eventually going to come back, and then it'll end up being the same value it was before all this stuff happened.
That's definitely.
To be honest, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Like,
I think
if he's suspended.
Yeah.
What's the max? Like 6 games?
Well, the thing is he's suspended, and Sampson gets in there, and they're like, "Oh, damn, Sampson is good."
Yeah, but they'll still use Judkins. They're not going to give up on their second round pick.
Yeah,
they put very high draft capital on him.
Yeah.
So,
and realistically, like that case isn't getting resolved this season. Let's just be honest.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, they may go to the commissioner's exempt list as a reason.
And even if he does,
but it's a pending case. I mean, I just don't see it in this. If it's like a sex assault case, I can see it.
They have pictures.
Yeah, but to be honest, I read that offense report. Like, pictures or no pictures.
Like, what I'm saying is, like, if they say they have pictures in like black eye, and then like the NFL, whoever's like the NFL is like reading this and they see the pictures and they're like, oh no, we can't have this as this is like this. If these pictures get out, it's gonna be a bad publicity. You don't think they would just put them on a commissioner's exempt list until like the situation gets figured out?
I just don't see it in this situation.
Okay.
I can see it in some situations. I just don't see it in this one. All right, so you on the board. Cedric Tillman just went. Hunter Henry went. Man, but you really getting sniped.
You throwing?
No, I'm really looking at these receivers right now.
What are you gonna do?
I'm looking at. I don't know who I want to go with.
Well, this one's kind of tough.
I'm gonna go Marshawn Lloyd.
Okay,
I like that. I got a lot of him too.
I like Lloyd being there. Again, another situation where Jacobs has so many carries. We can see Lloyd. Yeah.
Just another stab at a backfield.
Yeah.
And if the starter goes down, I think he'll be the guy. That's really all it is right there.
The nice thing about like your running backs, you know, in this sort of kind of zero RB build is like they're athletic, they're young, like they're guys who could just like for a couple of weeks, like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, all my guys are young except for Dobbins, but I think Dobbins is going to he's just the guy that's going to get me through the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
The rest of the guys, hopefully, one of them could show they're the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
I still want Taj Brooks, by the way.
So Christian Kirk just went. If we had not drafted tonight, one of the topics that I wanted to talk about is this Texans receivers room. Who would be receiver too? Like obviously Nico is there. I had a graphic that I wanted to show last year's receivers room versus this year. Obviously Stephon Diggs is gone. Tank we don't expect to play this season.
Right.
Like, do we expect Christian Kirk to step into? I mean, like, is he going to be two? Is it Higgins?
I think it's Christian Kirk's going to be wide receiver too.
Yeah, I'm buying the reports too as well.
I think he's going to be wide receiver pretty strongly, at least to start the season. Now, as the season progresses, things change.
Yeah,
guys could start to show out a little bit. But
and I'm reading.
First few weeks.
Yeah, and I'm just like this is one of those things you tell yourself a story, so you got to be kind of cautious because this story is pretty long. But O-line is not great, right? We have a new offensive coordinator who says that, we're really going to kind of give the helm and put a lot more on CJ's plate. We're going to allow him to kind of make changes at the line of scrimmage. If your O-line is not great and you have this young quarterback who, like, for the first time is now having to kind of make decisions, you probably want to have a quick outlet for him. That quick outlet is usually the guy in the slot.
Right.
If you go back to last year, Diggs was used quite a bit, even in a completely different offense, but he was used in the slot. That was like one of his guys, and in the red zone. And I don't know why we got into this idea that Christian Kirk is not a good wide receiver. Christian Kirk is good. Like, if you honestly think about it, like, as much as like I like Jalen Noel, if Jalen Noel has the type of career Christian Kirk has, he was a hit.
Right.
If he somehow, exceeds that, then like, I mean, he was a tremendous hit. But like, Jalen Noel basically is what we want Christian Kirk to be. And then obviously Jaden Higgins has like kind of showed out during camp. And I get the like love, and that's a guy that I like too as well. But same sort of kind of reasoning. Remember when Nico Collins, his first year, his rookie year, Nico Collins didn't do much at all. And I know he
much his first 2 years.
Yeah, and I know he had some injuries, but like he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like they could easily be again another sort of kind of Jaden Higgins situation. So I'm not down on Jaden Higgins. Those are like I want to have either Christian Kirk first, or Jaden Higgins, or Jalen Noel. I want to have at least one of the non-Nico Texans tight end wide receivers on my team.
Okay.
So, but yeah, if I had to rank them, I would say Kirk. Like best ball to me, like Kirk is like a great option.
Yeah,
especially how
super
late
cheap.
he goes. Yeah, especially how late he goes.
Super cheap. Drake May went in the 13th. I think Drake May going after Kyler, Justin Fields, and Purdy. I think that's good value for a quarterback, man, because he's sneaky athletic, like can run. I think they gave him some weapons. Like I think he can improve on last season. To be able to get him this late, I think it's big.
Yeah, any running QB that goes after the 10th round, like just thank your lucky stars that you were able to draft and get that value.
Trying to figure out how I feel about Brashard Smith. I'm not sold yet that he's going to have that role. I hope he has that role, but he's a 7th round pick.
First look game.
It is a first look game, but I'm also using, I would say 14th round is a little higher to pick
first
look
game.
That's a little high for Brashard. Yeah.
It depends, like To me, I feel like the likelihood of him being a worse workhorse back is probably pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
But like kind of filling out that Jerick McKinnon role, I think is high.
Yep.
But remember, Andy Reid, I don't know, they don't really do a good job of like running in touchdowns. Like to me, I feel like he would prefer a running back that can like has the versatility of either being able to run it in or like sneak out of the backfield. So I can see situations where he can kind of go on a run. I just don't know that he has the upside to like give
like
you
a
20-point games like week in, week out.
Right.
Like he's like a serviceable backup to me.
Right.
Yeah, I mean Hollywood Brown just went.
But
Again,
I prefer Todd Brooks over
I'm actually gonna take Brooks. I'm just looking who else because I feel like I can maybe get Brooks on the 15th round.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't see anybody right now. I really
not Sanders.
Maybe Chig just to get the other tight end.
Don't do Chig.
Don't do Chig. You don't like Chig? I don't like him either, but it's late. I'm gonna go Brooks.
Oh, would you have gone Nick Chubb there?
Who?
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb is already.
I don't know about his ceiling either.
Hmm.
I don't know about his ceiling. I'm gonna go Brooks, and I'm gonna end up just picking whichever tight end falls to me.
All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get Jameson in this draft.
I went. What is it? 6 straight.
You waited like an hour and a half.
Nah, I still hadn't decided.
I went 6 straight running backs now.
6 straight running
I'm
backs.
not gonna take any more quarterbacks. If I take a receiver, it's probably gonna be a rookie, definitely. Maybe Dante Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders.
He's one of my favorite rookies to take. Like if I'm going to take a stab on a late rookie.
I'm looking at the tight end. I might go Juwan and again Ferguson or Juwan and Arroyo. Those are the tight ends I'm looking at.
Arroyo.
Just because he might have the role, he'd be easy to get rid of.
You mean the ex receiver?
Oh, you think he's gonna play receiver?
No, I'm just remember that early quote in the offseason.
What did it say?
It was the head coach and the OC, more so the OC. They were like excited talking about why they drafted him. Arroyo, they were like, "This isn't just a tight end. This is like a receiving weapon. Like he can line up and play X."
That's what they said.
Yeah, that's what they said. I mean, it's one of those things you got to decide how much you want to buy into it. But
right, that coach talk about. Just the fact that they don't see him as strictly a
no, they were excited about
blocking type guy or just a pick. They
actually they said he could do it all, but then you also have and like you got the Cup, you got the JSN, and you got MVS, but you don't really have a guy like Arroyo.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have like that big X body type wide receiver. He was a guy I've been pretty high on.
Who's the biggest guy they have of them? MVS?
But you can draft Arroyo super late.
Yeah. You want to?
Yeah.
Who's their biggest receiver right now? MVS?
The likely starter, yeah. He's
MVS
more clear out.
Really
he's more clear out.
Yeah, he's not really a possession, big body type guy.
He's gonna play the exact same role in the exact same offense under the exact same OC.
All right, so Brashard Smith and Chig just went. Yeah. It's kind of rough.
But what do you mean is rough? What do you think I should be trying to get?
Well, I think you need another tight end.
I don't need another tight end.
I think you need another tight end.
I don't need another tight end. I'm gonna get another tight end for depth, but I don't need it.
I don't know, man. Like I just don't trust like the Browns. I mean,
well, anybody I pick now is not gonna be anybody I trust over him, though.
That's true.
So it's like I'm just taking stats for the sake of taking stats. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right now, my mindset is trying to make sure I do have 2 running backs by the end of this, or at least the middle of the season. I feel good with. And I've taken 7 straight running backs. I think that's pretty solid. I probably would want one more.
Who's available?
Krosky Merritt.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take Thornton here if he falls to me, just because I like his ceiling. And this pick being so late, he'll be my last receiver of the draft.
So with all the discussions about Joe Burrow and where he fits amongst like the most elite quarterbacks, I bring up Joe Burrow because, obviously he has these gaudy numbers, but his defense was extremely bad, historically bad. And so like that required them to always have their foot on the gas, and they were just throwing all game long. And I feel like that allowed him to have the elite.
But they're probably going to have the same issue this year, though, don't you think?
Right. So this isn't necessarily a Joe Burrow question, but let's look at the inverse of that. with Denver's defense, if we expect Denver's defense to be a whole 2 to 3 rounds better than the next defense, what does it mean then for Bo Nix and for us like to project Bo Nix and that offense, knowing that they can kind of sit on some leads, like play some run the ball?
First of all, are you saying the premise is the Broncos offense is going to throw more this year?
No, the premise is that the Broncos offense is not going to throw more this year.
They're going to run more.
That they're going to run more
Okay.
because they're going to have a better defense and that they are probably going to be.
Maybe I said that wrong. What is the public sentiment right now about the Broncos?
No. So what I'm saying is, like, we expect, like, I think a lot of people see Bo Nix as this running quarterback who can be dynamic, right?
Okay.
But are they going to give him the ability to be dynamic with the defense?
You don't think they're going to unleash him?
I don't think they're going to unleash him.
Well,
the way that a team like the Bengals have to unleash Joe Burrow. Like, they have
the Bengals, I think, was the only team that really played where they had to unleash that type of aerial attack consistently. So, I mean, I think they're an outlier in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think that's a debate to really have because you can make that debate for every quarterback. Honestly, every quarterback, I don't think is going to have such a bad defense where they're going to have to just throw it all game long.
No, but like what I'm saying is, with teams that have who we are expecting to have an elite defense, do we expect them to necessarily put up the type of fantasy numbers that?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the elite defenses last year, Denver was an elite defense. Knicks performed. Sutton performed.
He didn't perform on a high end though.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he was top 8.
You can say maybe the Eagles were a top defense.
Eagles were a top defense. They performed.
Yeah, but those are
they just took Juwan. Now they hurt me. They took my boy Juwan Johnson.
Oh man,
I'm surprised you went Dante Thornton there.
I like Thornton.
Yeah, I like Thornton too.
Well, certain guys like that.
Oh, DJ Giddens. I'm surprised you didn't go DJ Giddens.
No, I'm not a DJ Giddens guy.
DJ Giddens is good.
You don't think he's a handcuff? He might be, but I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a DJ Giddens guy. Okay. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, I heard. I'm just saying.
I was upset that the thing with Thornton, he got so much buzz.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys where anybody could just like him and take him.
Yeah.
And I do want him because of his high ceiling. He's a running back. I mean, a receiver. So those guys end up, end of the season pretty well.
And whenever a coach refers to a guy as a unicorn, that always gives you.
Yeah, I mean, there might be something there.
Yeah.
And y'all remember it 2 years ago when we were drafting, we were hearing all these little blurbs about Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, okay, cool. This 5th round guy, whatever. The Rams are talking about, they still got their other guy. And the season plays out and they're like, wow, this guy actually, they weren't lying. Like, they really were, seeing something special in him. That's kind of what we're hearing with Thornton. So this next pick, I'm hoping Krosky comes because he's the last running back I really want to target. Even though he might be the guy that sits on my bench the longest. But I see a path there. And then they took him. It's like I'm saying it and they're just taking my guy.
I'm saying, like, man.
What, you saying I shouldn't say it out loud?
No, I'm saying you should have taken him. Should have just passed. You didn't.
No, I got a lot of running backs.
You didn't need Thornton.
No, I got a lot of running backs.
You got a lot of backup running backs.
Yeah, and he's another one. So
increase your odds of having a starter at some point.
A start. There's no bet. There's no guarantee Krosky Merritt is going to be the starter. Krosky Merritt to me is just the same value as all those other guys.
That's what I'm saying, but you
there's still other running backs though. There's still a lot of other running backs actually.
Yeah.
But I just want to cross because I'm a fan of his.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna go JMO.
Are you still talking about that draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, just make a choice.
Yeah.
It's been tough. Between JMO, Travis Hunter, really wasn't really even consideration. And Chris Godwin.
Go JMO.
And I think it's the clear answer is JMO.
Let's see. Who do I want to take here?
All right, we took him.
I don't want to tight end.
You took forever for that pick, man.
Yeah. And I'm glad because we're going to be able to be in Vegas. We all going to be in Vegas that first week.
Yeah.
And if JMO bust, I'm looking at both of you. I did take JMO. And I think that game is actually Monday night anyway. So.
All right, so you went defense.
Yeah. Get them off the board.
These like 0 RB builds or even like I did like a robust RB build where like, you like run kind of either all yellow or all green at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like trying to, I wouldn't do it in the 12th round, but I like trying to get what I consider anyway an elite defense, but specifically like an elite kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like
you big on kickers this year?
just Aubrey. Yeah, I don't care about anybody else.
Me too.
I literally
I actually like a lot of kickers this
Yeah.
year though. I you know who I like that nobody talks about kickers. So obviously nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
The Commanders kicker.
Who is the
He's gonna
Commanders?
kick a lot.
Matt Gay. He's gonna kick a lot.
Mm.
So
He's gonna
like
kick a
that's
lot.
like the obviously
Matt
like that's
Gay is with the
Yeah,
yeah, he
Commanders.
sounds
now?
like a man. So like
And
that's
nobody knows
yeah.
that, you know.
That's like the obvious thing. He's like, yeah, you want not the, but like that's the thing you want. You want a guy who's gonna kick a lot. But what I like about Aubrey is that his coach is like excited about like having him kick 60+ yard field
Yeah,
goals.
he can.
He wants him to kick like a 70-yard field goal if it's like the end of half. That you like it, and like that's the type of offense that like has I don't think a lot of issues getting into the red zone.
saying that now, because remember, there's a new coach.
Well, same the head coach. Same head coach. Head coaches are usually the ones that make the decision on like
It's a different head coach.
with the quarterback or with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
Schottenheimer was the coach last year.
Schottenheimer's an OC. He's not the new head coach.
That's what I'm saying. He's the new head coach.
He's the new offensive coordinator.
Who's the new head coach?
They didn't make a change at head coach.
The Cowboys? Who's the head coach of the Cowboys?
Now you're blanking on his name. They did not make a No, not Schottenheimer's not the head coach of the
Bro,
Cowboys.
it's Schottenheimer. What are you talking
Is it?
about?
No.
Schottenheimer.
Hold up one second.
Oh man, Ab, you need to go back to the
Yeah.
Hold up one second.
It is.
room.
But like Aubrey is one of those guys who like, I mean,
Maybe I've been tripping.
because I was about to say something that was pause worthy, but like he kicks so far, right? That like if you need a guaranteed 3 points, man, like he's almost. I mean, he's.
I'm thinking Mike McCarthy. Okay. So I thought, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, but like, see, I personally like to go like high end kicker over high end defense because defense is kind of fluky.
I think
Also,
kicker is extremely fluky.
I think defense is more fluky than kicker.
No, I think
Like those top end kickers typically like hold true.
But that's why I like Aubrey is
I think there's
he
only
can
one
hit 70-yard field
actual
goals.
top end kicker this year. But the problem here's the thing.
Well, like the other one is suspended.
Here's the thing.
Well, but he was falling off last year. He wasn't
Yeah,
hitting
but like
any
he was
60-year-old.
falling off
You
last
mean
year. But
release.
like what I'm
You
saying,
mean Wade, he's not on the team right now.
yeah.
But Aubrey, like Abby was saying, they actually give him opportunity to kick these 70-yard or 60-yard. Like they give him those opportunities.
Yeah.
It ain't just he's on a team where they happen to kick a lot. It's like they use him like no matter where we're on the field, we might have a chance. So not many kickers other than him are like that.
Those 6 points. That's 6 points, and he gets a 7.
But again, my only pushback was we can't guarantee Schottenheimer will have that same mindset.
You can't guarantee, but like if a guy's like
hope
that
he's
accurate
shown
as
it.
60, yeah.
He's shown it, so
Yeah, sorry, yeah, well he was OC last year, but yeah.
Because I mean, taking that Denver defense, we expect them to be really good, but I don't know, man. Like, don't forget, FFPC sort of incentivizes sacks and turnovers. So even if the point total is low, like the way that their point total like works, like it doesn't really incentivize defenses that like hold you to a low point total.
right.
It incentivizes sacks and turnovers,
Right.
and stuff
So
like
that's
that.
why that's even more of a reason why I think you should probably look for those defenses that do provide you the opportunity where they have a high end, pass rush and a high end secondary. Because it's no longer about just not getting scored a lot on.
That's why I like defenses like obviously Philly, Baltimore, Dallas.
You don't like
I
the
think
Texans?
Dallas. The Texans too.
Texans like my highest on defense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a stab at Theo Johnson. Heard a little bit about him. He was a rookie last year.
Mm-hmm.
He got hurt, so we didn't really get to see how good he really was. But they had high hopes on him going into the season. So I still want Ferguson, but he might not fall here. I might have missed my chance there, but Arroyo's still back there.
But yeah, defenses. I mean, Dallas defense.
I like everybody just said a defense that I like that's actually lower.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been kind of trying to take stabs at it. The Cardinals. I think they've added a fair amount to their defense.
Yeah.
Their head coach is a defensive guy. I remember he was the DC for the Eagles a couple years ago. I think they're on the come up and they're going really, really late. And then I think their first matchup is against the Saints. You know who?
The Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Yeah. The Cardinals. Yeah. The defense. Yeah.
We still don't even know who the quarterback is right now. So if pull an emergency type thing, that's who I'd probably go.
They go late. The Rams are another good one too.
I like the Rams.
Yeah.
I like the Rams.
Their D line is coming up too.
Mostert's going a lot higher, man.
It's I was gonna say, is Mostert the last like handcuff like that's drafted? Because like
There
we
was a
think
point
that
Mostert was
Mostert is
not
going to
being
be
drafted though.
Yeah.
but if you had to think about like who's after Gentry, like who would it be?
It's Mostert. I'm just saying there was a point where people weren't even drafting Mostert, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
we talked
definitely
about
gone
that
up quite a
on
bit.
last show. We were like, we damn near screamed it into the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got 3 more picks. One of them obviously is going to be kicker. For the kickers, again, you've already mentioned Aubrey. After that, I like the first little kickers. Dicker is usually the number 2 kicker taken, so I usually don't get a chance in because I'm not taking kicker that high. So the other guys would be Jake Elliott and Harrison Buckner.
Remember where everybody would always draft Buckner like super early?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If people are thinking that this is a return of the KC offense, then maybe we should also be thinking about this the return of Buckner.
I don't know, man. I just think kickers' values are
opportunity.
so flimsy, man. I just think it's so I think it's one of those things where if they end up being in a team where the offense is able to go down the field easily and put them in position and kick, that's great. It's just that it's hard to tell that during draft season. Like the Commanders went through like 4 kickers last year, and it didn't. Ferguson just went damn, and it didn't even matter who the kicker was. That kicker was always putting up points because of the offense.
And Booker just went too, but good.
But that's what I'm saying. But you still gotta like project. I mean, you gotta.
But what I'm saying is, we go into the season, we think we know, but a lot of times we don't really know. So it's going to end up being these kickers that, because again, last year this time when nobody thought the Commanders' offense was going to do what they did, there's going to be kickers this year that are going to be just like that.
See, like my thought process on kickers is that I always want to choose a kicker on an offense or on a team that has a quarterback that's not very good in the red zone, because I just want sheer volume.
Yeah.
And so, like,
but how do you know who that's going to be though?
Yeah, but you know some of those teams, like
you know some, but those
you knew that like Russell Wilson or Justin Fields were not great in the red zone, and that they could be teams that could move the ball and not be in the red zone. So like being able to get Boswell, so getting Boswell, like
you talking to Chris Boswell last year, you need to write up a kicker article ASAP.
No, but like that's the thought process, right? Like I want so like someone like for me, I mean like if Anthony Richardson, right, like was the starting quarterback, like Indy's kicker would be a kicker that I would go after because he's a guy who's not great in the red zone. And so like
But isn't Daniel Jones the same issue?
Yeah.
Do you believe Daniel Jones is good in the red zone?
I think he's a little better in the red zone. But yeah, like he's not,
we're so low on Anthony Richardson this season that everybody's
but you gotta ignore it. You gotta ignore that. Yeah, you gotta
I've always been low on Anthony Richardson.
Man.
Yeah.
Let's see what this backup rookie running back for the Bears would do.
Mananga.
Yeah.
Where you at with the Bears running back?
I don't like none of them. Like
you better find one.
I just found one.
So this is
I'm like any of them.
Yeah, I think I'm buying into Swift though. To me, like you just look at like what they did on the offensive line to improve that. You can't ignore the coaching changes. I mean, even them bringing it, like even their running backs coach, like all the changes is like kind of they implemented. Like to me, this is like set up for someone to have success. If not one, maybe even 2 potential running backs in this, in the system to have success. So like they go so late where I feel like, Swift has been in this system before, and before he got hurt in that system, he was actually doing a pretty damn good job. So I don't know. I feel like I'm at the point where like, okay, 6th round Swift. Let me like try to start acquiring shares if I can.
I'm not a fan of him. Talent wise.
Yeah, most people not.
And a lot of people are not, like you're saying, and that's what's making them buy themselves into Rashawn Johnson, who also to me, I don't know.
I'm not a fan of him
at all.
I've never thought he was
good. So
good.
if I'm gonna make a bet on any of them, I'm gonna make a bet on the guy I just took because he's going super late. He's the unknown.
Yeah.
Right. He's the one where we don't know what he's gonna be, but then when he gets on the field, he can show something, and the coaches are like, "Hey, let's give this rookie the guy. Give this rookie the ball." So, but all 3 of them, I'm not really a fan of, honestly.
Yeah.
All 3 of them, like all of them. Like I'm still waiting for them to add a running back, like a legit running back. But there's nobody out there.
It's done. That's what I'm saying. You gotta I feel like I've come like full circle. Like I'm like settled in on the Bears. Like obviously we got training camp, but like I feel like I'm settled in and very comfortable now with who I want the Bears, where I'm willing to take them, and like what I can see.
How can you be comfortable when you haven't seen it?
I'm just very comfortable.
But you haven't seen anything from them.
You're not going to see anything from him. Even through training camp,
I
you're
know
still not
you're
going to see
not. That's what I'm
anything.
saying. Since you're not going to see, how you so comfortable when it's literally all unknown?
I've just taken in everything, as much information as I can,
But
and
the
like I've
information
come
is
to
going to
the.
keep every day. The information is going, especially when camp starts.
I'm not talking about
it's
that
gonna be more-
information. I'm talking more about the information
The
of
situation?
like the situation.
I got
The
you.
head coach reading about like the coaching changes, reading about the running scheme,
Got
reading
you.
about like what Swift did in the past when he was with the Bears. Diving into that situation a little bit. My priors on the running backs, like I've always thought Swift is a talented, athletic running back.
Mhm.
So I've always thought like you put him in the right system. Like even when I watched him with the Eagles, like he was still like talented.
Abby, I'm
and
not gonna
athletic.
lie, and Chris, you can attest to this or chime in however you like.
Before this summer, I've never heard you talk highly about DeAndre Swift.
No, I'm not saying I've not been high on Swift. That's all
I'm
I'm
just
saying.
saying. I'm
I'm
just saying,
saying-
like,
No, I'm saying
there's a chance.
Yeah.
You're convincing yourself.
No. It's
Okay.
not, no. Because I wasn't high on Swift the years before.
That's what I'm saying.
But again, the situation changes.
maybe.
I'm big on I'm big on situation. I don't necessarily need somebody to be like this like amazing player or like be highly skilled. Like you can be a good player in a really good situation, and in that situation you can thrive. I also think like running backs are very unique in that some of them, and we're like learning this like over the last few years, some of them really thrive in certain run schemes. We saw Dameon Pierce look amazing his rookie year. They changed the run scheme and he looked just absolutely garbage. We seen Kyron Williams too. We saw the entire Rams running game
So you're
change
saying
completely when
Swift's hindrance all these years has just been the situation. You think he's talented enough to
So
where
what
if
you
he just get in the right situation, he'll
I think
execute.
I think it all starts with the offensive line. I think if you have a dominant offensive line, and they had literally
Didn't he have that with the Eagles though?
and he did very well with the Eagles. His only issue with the Eagles is that look, his only he I thought he did pretty well with the Eagles. Did he leave some stuff on the field? Maybe, but you were playing with a quarterback who tush push runs it in, and then you were also playing with a quarterback who does not dump the ball down. He's not a check down at all. He's like the lowest percentage of check downs in the league,
Okay.
right? So now you fast forward to the situation he's in right now, where he can be potentially used a lot more in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
I just see a situation where like where he's going right now in the 6th round to me is a pretty damn good value.
So the big knock on Christian McCaffrey is that the injury history and the mileage that he has on his body, but yet his handcuff is going in the 19th round. Make that make sense to me.
Is it? No, it's not. You got to believe in Isaac Guerrero?
Oh, I forgot Garindo
Yeah,
was
you can't
drafted
forget
early.
Guerrero.
See, like
But
I
I mean,
had
some people-
Jordan James. Like I was like,
There was some-
debatable.
There was some hype on that. I always see that situation as like Kyle Shanahan favoring his like vets. So
Let's take this first look kicker now. Hopefully Arroyo comes back. Every time I say that, it doesn't happen though. But hopefully
about-
Arroyo comes back.
is Conklin gone?
I like Conklin too, man.
Conklin's not gone, but Conklin doesn't have the ceiling I think
Yeah.
Arroyo has.
I'm shooting for ceiling right now.
I heard somebody bring up an interesting comp
For Conklin?
to be Mark Andrews type
Conklin?
in this offense.
He is kind of a Mark Andrews build.
Because
He's always been that build, but
yeah.
But if you think about the offensive coordinator and sort of kind of like, how they use multiple tight ends, but one of those tight ends was really used in the passing game, maybe like Will Dissly, because I always thought it was weird last year. Will Dissly was like sort of kind of categorized as maybe he was miscast as that guy. Maybe Dissly can go back to being.
But here's the thing, man. Especially when we're this late in drafts, like I'm not looking for guys that are just in good situations and probably are just going to get these brownie type points, right? I'm looking for guys that we don't realize how good they really are right now, and when they play, we look back and like, wow, we really were underestimating this guy's talent.
Mhm.
Now,
I think that could be top.
I think we know Conklin's talent.
I'm not worried about the talent. I'm worried about
But that's what
do
I'm
you
saying,
get 6
like,
to 7 receptions a game in a tight end premium?
6 or 7, and I mean, if he has that type of
That's
if
15
he
to
has
20.
that type
He's
of
top 5
situation,
tight end.
That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice.
That's top 5 tight end.
It's not likely in my opinion because again, I still think there's going to be a running team, and they got other options, including
potentially
McConkey and the rookie they just drafted.
Mhm.
And they got another rookie tight end there as well. They have Gatson, who I think they're pretty high on as well.
So their situation is basically the same as the Seattle situation. It's almost exactly the same, only with the worst O line
and if they're in
a worse
the
quarterback
exact situation, then you would have to compare Arroyo to Gatson. Gatson is in the Arroyo role.
No. I'm saying they're in the same situation when you look at the teams. Like you look at Seattle Seahawks, They have a young wide receiver in JSN. Chargers have a young wide receiver in Lab McConkey.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams, based off of what we're hearing, really want to run the ball. Chargers have the better offensive line. Okay. Then you look at the supporting cast as far as wide receiver options. You can make an argument who's better, but let's just say that they're pretty much equal, right? So now you're looking at the tight ends in that system, okay?
And one tight end, you just literally told me the coach said he's like a receiver, ex-receiver, and he's a big body.
I told you that before.
And the other tight end is the guy I've seen for the last 3 years. He's on his third team. But I feel like I've seen the ceiling. The role might be great, but I don't think
that's the thing. That's the thing. To me, it's all about the role. So if you say he's like, you know what, I want to rebuild what we did with Baltimore. I finally got my tight end now who can receive.
I don't want to bet on,
and that's the Mark Andrews.
I want to bet on guys again that have talent, like that can supersede.
Conklin has talent.
Man, I've seen Conklin.
I don't know.
I've seen Conklin.
Yeah, I've seen him too. He has talent.
Man, come on now.
He has talent.
He's an NFL player.
He's a receiving tight end.
I don't even think he's that. I don't think that. I mean, when has he ever been the receiving tight end for a team? The Vikings or the Jets? No.
Yeah, he's been the receiving tight end for both those teams.
Tight end.
He's been the receiving tight end.
No, he's been a tight end. He was a tight end. He wasn't the receiving tight end.
All right, well.
Matter of fact, who did they even have that was a receiver? Who started over Conklin with the Vikings? I don't even remember. It wasn't Irv Smith, was it?
It was with the Jets, right? Like he.
I think it was. Remember, it was Irv Smith for a period of time.
Was the passing tight end.
He was not because Conklin got used over him.
No,
but I think Irv Smith also got hurt.
Both of them, but Irv was if you would say who
Irv was not getting work.
Actually, Will Dissly just went. So
Irv is out of the league. Will Dissly went?
I wasn't going to take Dissly.
Well, no. I'm saying like Will Dissly went. Like we were talking about.
Will Dissly?
Will Dissly.
What's wrong with Will Dissly?
Well, I guess you're making a bet that Will Dissly over Tyler Conklin and Arondé Gadsden.
Yeah,
Gadsden. That's
and you know what? We didn't even bring him up. He's another person. He's actually the incumbent. He's the only that was there.
But that's why I'm bringing up that situation because that's in that old system they used multiple tight ends, but there was one tight end that was used to go up the seam. There was one tight end that was used to receive.
I don't want to bet. Like I don't want you to tell me if they had another. I don't want you to tell me if they said everything you say right now, but they're going to do it for Dissly. I don't want that to be the reason why I should now be high on Dissly. Like I don't want it to be a role situation. I want it to simply be this guy is so good that when he gets on the field, like before Jimmy Graham was on the Saints. They didn't have a Jimmy Graham. They got Jimmy Graham. They put him in a certain position. They started using him, and now it became the Jimmy Graham show. And it's like the offense changed.
You don't need to sell me on Arroyo over Conklin. Like trust me, I love Arroyo. Okay. I'm just saying when you say that like Conklin can't be like I feel like there's a situation. There's an easy situation because when you're looking at when this is like the general tight end discussion in general is just like okay, can you be the second or at the very worst the third receiving option on that team? And this is a clear situation where there is a tight end on the Chargers that can easily be the second receiving option on that team.
I don't know if he could easily. I get
when I say easy, I mean your competition. Your competition is QJ, Quentin Johnson, and that's not even use my opinion. Let's just use the marketplace. Who is the second wide receiver being drafted off the Chargers right now?
Trey Harris.
And he's going super late, and he may not even start.
I mean,
he may not even start.
Got going. They still got. They still have Mike Williams that they brought there for a reason, who have history with.
But again, we're just bringing up names. I'm not
bringing up names. I'm bringing up the receivers they have. And you're talking about Conklin. We literally obviously the person in this draft next to me thought Dissly was over Conklin.
That's an aberration.
I'm just saying, like he thinks that, so that means other people probably think that. And then again, the tight end rookie that they're talking up is Gatson.
It's not to say that it is Tyler Conklin. What I'm saying is that whether you want to say Dissly or whether you want to say Gatson, what I'm saying is that like the tight end for the Chargers, to me, like more than most situations in an NFL, by far has there's a potential for them to be the number 2 target option. Nobody is rushing out and saying, you may have your Trey Harris here and there, but like,
would you also say
it's not that surprising if a tight end, like, because number one, Herbert has used the tight ends in the past. But you have an OC who has used the tight end in the past.
Had that role last year, then?
Say what?
Would you say no?
I'm saying last year, like they maybe thought it was going to be Dissly, and to me, that was just a bad decision to make. Like he was a poor typecast. So whether it's the rookie or whether it's Tyler Conklin, to me, those are 2 better options than Dissly to be that guy. Dissly had a couple games last year.
Do you think Dissly had their role there last year? Like, do you think the role that you're saying right now?
No. I think they wanted to give him that role because you saw games where he was going out, but then I think they realized that like, okay, Dissly is just not that guy.
All right, guys, that's our draft episode this
Damn, we
week.
finished with fireworks.
Please like, rate,
We
subscribe.
should have led it with the Chargers tight end.
Correct. We're out.